Is Bitcoin about to break out to new all-time highs? And four altcoins have started to pump so far that we don't want to miss in 2025. This is your Altcoin Buzz News. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Cody, and if you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when we drop latest content. Follow us on Twitter, AltcoinBuzzIO, and as always, not financial advice, and wish the best of luck in your crypto ventures. All right, you guys, good morning. We are just a few percentages away from all-time high, and we actually closed above this key level, which I've been talking about for a while now, above 106 on the daily yesterday. So yesterday we closed at 106,700, and now we're kind of retesting this level from above, which is pretty bullish, actually. The fact that we closed above here, we're now retesting this level, and then maybe we go even higher today. We actually went all the way up to just about 108,000, which is just a couple percentages away from 109.5, which is our all-time high back in, what was this now, January. So it is very possible that we go to all-time highs very soon. I thought we might come out and take some of these wicks out before we went up, but it seems like the market is just so bullish. Part of that is Michael Saylor just continues to keep buying, and a lot of institutions just continue to keep buying, which we're going to cover in a minute. But I figured we'd come and take out some of these wicks, but it seems like the market is super bullish and doesn't want to do that just yet. It might still, but it seems like my thesis may be incorrect so far, where we just want to keep going higher. Now, I will say it's very hard to read this price action because it's just nonstop chop upwards. But I will say this is something that we have kind of seen before, where we see this upward chop, and just like before over here, where we have this upward chop where we just kind of chop upwards, it takes out a bunch of stops, and ultimately we do continue higher, but it's just very messy to read. And that's kind of what we're doing right now as we get close to all-time highs. Anytime we get close to any all-time highs, it becomes a lot less predictable, and it's harder to read because they want to shake you out. The big players want you to get out of Bitcoin before this, ultimate break above 100 and $10,000 towards 120, 125,000. So they want to try and get you out as much as possible, and that comes in the form of a lot of shakeout, a lot of chop on the way up towards all-time high to get you to rethink your position and get you to either close your longs or close your shorts, whatever it might be. And so we're seeing a lot of that today with Bitcoin, but it is overall very bullish that we're now closing above this $106,000 level. This is, we've never closed above it before yesterday, so very bullish for Bitcoin. Then we have Look on Chain saying Bitcoin is about to break all-time high. The German government sold 49,858 Bitcoin for $2.87 billion in average price between 57,600 between June 19th and July 20th, 2024. Those Bitcoin are now worth $5.33 billion, meaning they missed out on $2.46 billion in total profit. It's kind of funny because that German government selling pretty much marked the bottom at that time. Back in early 2024, the German government was selling somewhere around here. So this pretty much marked the bottom where they sold from this top down here. This also coincided with the yen carry trade, all that stuff. So it's kind of funny. All these events happened and kind of pretty much marked the bottom back in 2024. Then we have Mario Nafal saying, just in strategy accumulating Bitcoin at record-breaking pace. We see they just acquired another $764.9 million worth at $103,500. So Michael Saylor just keeps acquiring more and more Bitcoin. It's kind of crazy because the more it goes up, the more he keeps accumulating. So at around 103,000 is where he bought the other day. And so pretty much around here. And usually when he buys, they tend to get reverted, but it seems there's so many institutions and he just keeps getting more money to buy these things. So that's why I thought we would probably come out and take out some of these stops earlier, but it seems the market is very bullish and it doesn't want to go down just yet. Then we also have SEC Chairman Paul Atkins says Bitcoin and crypto regulation by enforcement is over. So he said this.
A key priority of my chairmanship will be to develop a rational regulatory framework for crypto asset markets that establishes clear rules of the road for the issuance, custody, and trading of crypto assets while continuing to discourage bad actors from violating the law. Clear rules of the road are necessary for investor protection against fraud. Policymaking will be done through notice and comment rulemaking, not through regulation by enforcement.
And also just yesterday, the Texas Strategic Bitcoin Reserve Bill, SB 21, has passed the second reading of the House. Next, the bill moves to a third House reading and a final vote. So it seems like Texas is going to have its own strategic reserve very soon, which is very bullish. And a lot of states are starting to do this as well. Texas just being one of the biggest states and, having a lot of influence as well. Very, very bullish. Then we also have CoinBureau saying US spot Bitcoin ETFs just hit $1 billion in inflows this week, and we're only on day 2. Monday brought 667 million, and Tuesday added another 329 million. So we're seeing a lot of bullish inflows around this area. Then moving on, we have Tap Tools saying nearly $1 billion worth of Cardano's ADA, $932 million worth has been withdrawn from centralized exchanges since the beginning of 2025. The last time outflows approached this magnitude was in 2021 during ADA's climb to its $3.10 all-time high. So we can see here the old all-time high with ADA spot inflows and outflows. We can see the outflows here. And now we are marking around the same area. And then we also have Mario Nafal saying Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson was attacked by fake headlines claiming a $600 million ADA theft. He strongly denied these accusations, saying he's deeply hurt by the distrust coming from the community. An audit is currently underway to clear things up and address these false claims. So Cardano is actually looking pretty good overall. Yeah, we're still holding this level. And this is actually pretty much the level I had talked about maybe a week or so ago, that if we hold this, it's probably a pretty good long. And we are seeing it being held right now at 74 cents. So this looks like a pretty good area to enter to me, where you have a first TP around 85 cents, and you can take profit again at these highs here around $1.13. I do think if Bitcoin takes off towards, $110,000 and beyond soon, altcoins will follow, and Cardano will probably do something like this. So overall, Cardano is looking very good. We're seeing these higher lows and higher highs starting to be formed. And overall, to me, Cardano just looks great right now. So Cardano is one to be watching this year. CoinEx is one of the best exchanges you haven't heard of. Like Gate.io or Mexi, they offer a lot of coins. But more importantly, they offer the high quality coins you want. In fact, over 1,020 coins and over 1,500 different markets are available, so it's a lot of access. CoinEx has active spot and futures markets, and this month there are 2 different events if you trade in CoinEx Futures. First, from May 16th to May 19th, you can get a piece of a $10,000 random airdrop. All you have to do is trade at least $100 worth on CoinEx, and you can get a little extra USDT added to your account. And just for trading, which you're already doing anyway. And then from May 19th to May 29th, we have a much bigger prize pool of 100,000 set tokens, which is CoinEx's native token. Here you get to apply what you've learned, and if you trade at least $1,000 in CoinEx Futures, then you qualify. Everyone who qualifies earns something, while the winner gets 7,000 set tokens. And if you haven't noticed, SET has had a great last 12 months, up 68%. And that's about the same return as Bitcoin in the same period, so it's a nice coin to earn as a reward. So take advantage of CoinEx Futures offers to learn and earn more rewards. Start today by setting up your account on CoinEx and earn your part of these 2 different prize pools. Click the link down below for more information. And then we have Sui saying Sui, Bitcoin, and Ethereum are the first blockchains selected for integration with Microsoft Fabric via space and time. This puts Sui's full chain history directly into the hands of Microsoft's fast developer ecosystem, builder ready, indexed, instantly accessible. We also have Sui Ninja saying breaking. The Sui Foundation has partnered with Space and Time. Sui data is now integrated into Microsoft Fabric and Azure. Why this matters: instant access to Sui blockchain data on Microsoft systems. Sui reaches enterprise-grade status like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Major companies, AI tools, and Web2 platforms can now seamlessly interact with Sui. Bottom line, Sui is now ready for the enterprise world. So now that Sui is being, kind of bundled together with the likes of Ethereum and Bitcoin, is very big as like a top enterprise grade blockchain. We also have Sui network tops the charts with $148 million net stablecoin inflows in the past 24 hours. So I think we talked about this yesterday as well. The stablecoin inflows coming into Sui right now are massive. And Sui's also hit a new all-time high in weekly DEX volume. We can see here $4.1 billion in weekly DEX volume on Sui. So a lot of DEX volume is taking place on Sui. We also have Bankless saying 5 minutes to catch up on Sui. From gaming to DeFi to social, the network's quietly laying the groundwork for a fully on-chain internet, one where the chain is just the start. So we can see the bullish progress we have here. We have Bitcoin Fi is way up, where Sui is positioning itself as a home for Bitcoin DeFi. We have Mississippi V2 live. The Mississippi V2 upgrade is live, speeding confirmation times. Simple actions like coin transfers and NFT mints now skip full consensus, boosting throughput. We also have the Walrus mainnet. In late March, Walrus Protocol, Sui's chain-agnostic storage solution, launched an airdrop 4% of the supply. It's already 17.5% full at 725 terabytes and used by Plume Network, Linera, Claysaurus, and Pudgy Penguins. Walrus is also up 66% with incentives live across Sui Lend, SteamFi, and Scalp and Cetus. So very big things are happening across Sui, and overall Sui looks pretty good as well. If we don't continue to sell off on Bitcoin, I think this just pumps straight from here towards these highs around $4.73. But likewise, if Bitcoin was to continue downwards, which it doesn't seem like it wants to now, but if it did, I imagine we'd come back down to around $3.57 reclaim this level and continue higher. So this is still totally fine. Maybe this little wick here, which you can see, was the retest of this level, which is what I always talk about, where we break through, have a level reclaim, and then continue higher. So maybe this wick here on the daily was the level retest. Because it seems like everything just wants to continue higher. So very possible in a bullish environment that was just the level retest, and we're going to continue higher from here. So I imagine now on the second test of this resistance around $4.07, we break through and we go towards these highs around $4.74, and then break the new all-time high around $5.30 very soon afterwards. And then we have Ondo Finance, who says tokenized US Treasuries have exceeded $7 billion in TVL for the first time and are hitting milestones faster than ever. It took stablecoins 5 years to reach this scale. Tokenized treasuries got there in less than 3. Ondo is driving much of this growth with the most widely held tokenized treasury assets, capturing over 80% of all asset holders in the category, according to RWA.XYZ. We've already onboarded more than $1.25 billion in capital, but the future of RWAs is just getting started. We also have J-Chain saying Ondo breakout setup is brewing. The rising wedge support has held since launch. Every touch has printed new highs. Strong bullish divergence on momentum indicators. TVL at all-time high at $1.26 billion. $48 million plus in annual fees. JP Morgan, Chainlink, and Ondo Finance just launched the first tokenized bank settlement testnet. The MACD is curving up and price sitting at a key diagonal support zone. If history rhymes, Ondo could visit 220 to 250 zone within weeks. And if momentum truly catches, we're on track for $10 moonshot later this year. This is what real adoption looks like: RWA, TradFi rails, and deep liquidity. So we can see here he's talking about on the daily time frame. This is a very bullish rising wedge. I don't like to use daily time frames because so much can happen in between here. While he might be right, this is just so much. It's just so much time takes place. So basically, you can always say that Ondo is bullish, even if we were selling off this entire time. You can say this is still a rising wedge. So it's like it's a little bit harder to say because basically, if you're thinking in years, then yeah, it's always bullish. But if you're thinking in shorter time frames, it's harder to say that this is, bullish when we're going down from $2.20 all the way down to like 70 cents again. But overall, I get the idea. I'll go over it in a second. The MACD is looking pretty good, where we're starting to curve up here on the MACD and these VWAP indicators, where basically momentum is coming back into Ondo. We also have Ondo at all-time high in TVL, and we also have Chainlink Connects by JP Morgan and Ondo Finance have teamed up to bring bank payment rails to tokenized asset markets. So big things are happening on Ondo and RWA. Overall, it looks pretty good to me. We can see here we're starting to make higher lows and higher highs. It's starting to build this uptrend, and you can kind of see, I don't like to draw trend lines as much because they're very subjective. But overall, it is holding this line pretty well. More important to me is this horizontal line here around 89 to 91 cents. The fact that it's holding this level is better for me. I don't want to see us dip below here because then it becomes an underside retest and we probably start heading back down towards this 73-cent zone. I did think we were going to go there the other day, but with how Bitcoin is holding up, it seems, altcoins and Bitcoin want to hold up, better than I thought. And so overall, if it holds this level for another day or so, I think we're probably heading back towards $1.16, $1.17-ish, this next level of resistance. And once we break above there, then I become a lot more bullish because this is the biggest level of resistance to me. Once we break back above here, I think it'll be much easier to go towards these new highs, and it'll be a lot easier, and we'll probably cut through this a lot faster because everything will be a lot more bullish. So once we get back above these levels, I'm a lot more interested in Ondo. But until then, I think this next level of resistance that we have to face is $1.16-ish, and hopefully we'll break through that very soon if Bitcoin reaches new highs. And then we have Plume saying Plume TVL explodes 956% in 24 hours. Plume just went to a staggering $17.7 million in TVL, marking a nearly 10x daily jump, and it's just getting started. Tokenized RWA infrastructure is here, and the market is clearly noticing. This is what early adoption looks like. Stay sharp. And I'm incredibly bullish on Plume. So we can see here, Plume's TVL $17.7 million, a huge jump. So basically, it looks like one whale just dumped a bunch of money into Plume, and they're trying to get Plume started because at 17 million, it's a good TVL, but it's not like billions of dollars in TVL. So it's very possible it's just one whale. We also have Plume saying today we're excited to unveil the first step of our mainnet journey, Plume Alpha. We've always said that on-chain RWAs shouldn't feel like classic RWAs. They should feel like crypto. On Plume, you'll be able to stake, swap, lend, borrow, and speculate with RWAs as seamlessly as native crypto assets. This week, we'll begin onboarding deep liquidity, robust infrastructure, and a thriving ecosystem of dApps and partners. Once our ecosystem foundation is secure with proven applications, deep liquidity, and a performant network, we'll advance to phase 2, Plume Genesis. This is just the start of us building the future of RWAFi together. And then we also have, not telling saying, another big partnership between Plume and Centrifuge has just come out. So Plume is getting ready, getting a lot of partnerships coming out. And overall, looking pretty good. We have to go to a lower time frame here, but it has held pretty much between these two levels. This is a pretty solid zone we have here between 16 cents and around 18 cents. We've held between these levels for a while now. Pretty decent, punt if you want to get into Plume or you want to buy it spot or long it. We're pretty much near these range lows, so you could just take a long somewhere around here, around 17 cents, and target these new highs around here. But we've been in this range for a while now, and it seems like it wants to break out at some point, but it's struggling. It's just been chopping between these two. But anything, if we lose this level around 16 cents, you could probably just get out because we're probably going to retest these range lows somewhere around 15 or around 13 cents. So overall, Plume looks decent. It's at the bottom of this range and it's holding up decently on the daily time frame. I imagine we probably come out here towards 18 cents very soon, and then probably try again at these highs around 20 cents soon after if Bitcoin, goes to new all-time highs as well. So, and a decent area to be bidding if you wanted to bid that as well. So those are the altcoins that are starting to take off so far this year. And we can see here on the 12-hour chart, especially, Bitcoin is retesting this level. It seems like it wants to go up and it wants to make new all-time highs, whether that's today, tomorrow. It is Wednesday now, so we have a couple more days in this week for ETFs to be bidding, for Michael Saylor to be bidding. But I do expect as we get to new all-time highs, it's going to be very violent and whipsawy. So you want to be careful with leverage positions because you see every time we go to new all-time highs, we can see huge wick and then it ended back down here. So when we broke this all-time high on January 20th, which is also inauguration day, so that's something to do with it as well. But we ended the day down at 102,000. So we had a $7,000 drop ending the day. We continued back up higher and then sold off again. So there's going to be huge price movements as we get towards new all-time highs. Maybe we wick to $110,000, but then end the day around 105,000. So you want to be very careful with leverage positions around this area. Once we get it back above $110,000 decisively, then you'll be able to take a lot more, steady and reliable positions. But just going up to this new all-time high, it just gets very wicky, very, unreliable as people are taking profits, shorting, longing, everything in between around this area, waiting for a breakout. So that is the video for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. It's been a bit confusing with this whole price action, but I think this ultimately resolves in higher prices very soon and probably new all-time high very soon as well. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.